Hey everyone, in this video we're going to look at something called Tally Forms, so tally.so, and it's a kind of a new application, a new service for creating online forms. So if you're already using Google Forms, then I strongly recommend that you have a look at Tally Forms because it's a great replacement, but because it's new, it's not feature rich like Jotform or Typeform at the moment, but they have a roadmap which indicates that it's going to be very feature rich. So definitely a replacement already for Google Forms, and then one to keep an eye on going forward. So if we look here, we have lots of different templates just showing us, giving you some ideas of the kind of forms that you can create, this kind of thing. But it's very easy to use. So I want to show you how you can get started just by creating a form from a blank sheet, basically. So to create a new form, we just logged in now, we create a form, and we can, on here, just as it says here, it's just like building a Word document really. And if you've ever used Notion for note taking and document creation, then it's very similar to Notion. So we're going to start off with a title, and we're going to call it grooming form. So we're going to base this this form on a dog grooming company that is taking information for bookings and things like that. So we start off with that, and then we can just click on here and we can start with a blank sheet. And now what we can do, we can click on add here and insert blocks for questions, or what I like, just as in Notion, you can just do a / and then start typing the kind of question you want. So let's start with a short answer, and so we want the owner name to begin with, and then maybe we want a long answer, and we want the owner address. So we can just hit enter and question again. So we will add a phone number in there. So owner phone, and you get the little star next to it here, which is you can toggle on whether you want this to be a required field or not, and you can add minimum maximum characters in, that kind of thing. So all of these are required fields at the moment, and then let's go for pet name. So again, another short question. This is dog name. We'll go for dog name, and then let's have a multiple choice. We'll just pick multiple choice from here, and we can say what size is your dog, and we can say small, medium, or large. And then let's have a date of birth, so question, a date field, and again dog's date of birth. So we're starting to build up a nice form here now with lots of information on there, and we can also put in a title here as well. So if we want a title, so we can kind of break the form down into sections, for instance. So we could have a section in here for health and well-being, and we could start asking questions about the health and well-being of the pet. So let's have just one more long question in here, question with long answer, and information in here. And what we can also do is we can put some placeholder text in here to give them some idea of what information we're looking for. And then you could have some term and conditions and maybe a checkbox to agree to some terms and conditions, or more like do you agree? And then we'll just have one box here that's required, so they have to agree to complete. So we have a nice little form there. We can make it look nice as well, so we can add covers. So if we choose change cover, we can upload a file, we can link, or we can use Unsplash to search for images. So let's search for dogs here, and let's go for this one and just reposition it a bit to there perhaps. And we can also add a logo as well, so we'll just keep that logo for now. So there we have a nice little form that's not taken very long to create at all. One of the features it does have, which is quite nice, is answer piping. So what that means is you can take the answer from a file, from a question, and include that in another question. So a good example would be dog name in here. Instead of saying what size is your dog, we could say what size is, and instead of saying your dog, we can just get rid of that. We can do the @ symbol, and we can choose dog name answer here. So then when if I just publish that, let's go back to go back to the dashboard and click on that and edit again. And when I preview that, I could fill all these answers in here. So we could say Jason Martin, and we put our address in here and the phone number 07 and then the dog name could be Spot the dog, and then we have a question of what size is Spot, and we could also say what is Spot's date of birth. So we can use the answers from the previous questions to form new questions. So it's just a bit more personal, a bit friendlier. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And now we have created the form. We can publish it. We can then email it to anybody with this email link we have here, or we can embed that onto your website perhaps as a full page, and you can save that as a template and use it again. And then what happens if we just go back to one I made earlier, this one has had 2 responses, so it's pretty much the same thing. If we look at what that looks like, it's just a bit more information. So we have a file here that we can upload if you want to provide an image of how you want your dog to look, and then we have the terms and conditions down here that we can agree to and put a date in. We can also, if you notice down here as well, we can add another page and we can put a thank you page. So once they've completed the form, it will go to this page and thank them. So this is the form we've done already, and there's 2 responses to this. So once they start getting responses, we can come in here and we can look at the responses. So 2 responses, 2 addresses, 2 phone numbers. So it will show you like this. It will collate answers that have multiple choice, so you can see what most people are choosing. And also if you go to responses here, you can see that it will put it in a spreadsheet format, and you can download that as a CSV. And one of the other things you can do is click on the integrations, and you can have that automatically connect to a spreadsheet, or then you can incorporate Zapier to then, you know, if you had a email address, you can add it to MailChimp, you can send Slack messages and pretty much anything you like. Google Calendar. For instance, in the original form, it prompts them for information about the last vaccination. So you could maybe put that into your Google Calendar, and then you could have a reminder, so you can tell your clients when the next vaccination is, maybe send a nice email or something like that. So yeah, because you can connect to Zapier, you can do pretty much anything with the data.